All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Boss Talk Podcast. I'm excited for this. I got my boy Thadd in here today. Thadd, say what's good, everybody, big dog.
Man, what's good? Tapping in with my good people.
That's right. Tell the people what you do, big dog.
Oh man, I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but basically, I come from the music background. As far as what you want to know, what I do for work.
Where'd you grow up at, and
okay.
who you are as a person?
Yeah. Well, I come from Compton, California. Specifically on Rosecrans and Stanford. Shout out to my bros, Meet the Whoops, and everybody. Kendrick, K-Dot. But we gonna get into it.
That's right, man. Thank you for coming through, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you.
My pleasure.
So, what we do normally on this show, this is Boss Talk, and there is a purpose here. It's not just a title that sounded good. You feel me? So we try and give game to the people. I would assume people who want to boss up or people who are in that position and they want to check themselves or get into a better light.
Yeah.
Today's Boss Talk is going to be not forgetting where you come from.
For sure.
I say that because you can forget if you want to, right? It's two types of bosses. It's the one who everybody respects and then the one that everybody hates. This dude, they can't stop you, but they hate you behind your back. I'm trying to help you be loved, right? And so, when you get in that position, don't forget the struggles you used to have before you get in that position. Don't forget where you come from. Don't forget the goals that you had in place. They're still irrelevant. Yeah, we got to grow as people and evolve, but you still are the person you started off as, and stay true to that. And I just feel like that's the best way to go about it.
Bro, that is so funny because I picked that up today, bro, and we're having a long conversation. That's actually something we were talking about on our way over here, about like how a lot of people, they do forget where they come from and they land up switching up. Like it's like you got to remember where you were at your lowest point. You want to stay humble, but then you have the motherfuckers that are out here and they forget about all that and they think they're above everybody and this and that.
Like, I mean, and to be honest, this is the key factor of that. Just to piggy off what you're saying, the same people that you dissing on your way up, you got to see them on your way back down. So it's best to maintain and keep good relationships with people. You feel me? Because you never know who's going to be able to come into play. But if you shitting on people, that's never a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
No one's bigger than the program.
And I A1. So I just feel like if you want to choose a battle, go ahead and choose a battle. I guess what I'm more so focused on is like, when you are first creating the vision or having it, you telling yourself like, man, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And you're going to be happy about this. I'm going to put my people on, all these other things. As you start to grow in business, whatever it be, whether it's the entertainment business, the drug game, chiropractor, whatever it is that you go into, you start to realize it's not exactly what you thought. You can't help everybody, but at the same time, I feel like you can't help everybody on your way up, but you can get into position. And I feel like what happens is that a lot of cats, like I've seen this firsthand, people will get in a position and now they're good. And then they're not trying to help nobody.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, yeah, I get it. Sometimes we gotta like, yo, I can't hit you up. We can't kick it. I can't do this because I'm on my way. I'm grinding and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But once you got it, don't forget, your people.
And who was there for you. It's like I've had it done to me plenty of times where people have forgot about me, bro. They took it. It's like, man, I clothed you. I literally housed you. Like I've had homies that I took into my pad, they lived with me for months and months and months, paying no rent, paying nothing, because you needed that. Now today, I don't even talk to them no more. They don't talk to me. They kind of like, when I was going through a dark period of my life, they were like, oh, okay, let me go this way.
Yeah.
It's like they can't get nothing from you.
Exactly. It's like they already got it. Bro, like I've hooked these people up with jobs. My dad, head of City of South Pasadena, they worked for my dad. He got him in. And after they got that, it's like, where's Moses?
So these people, these people that we talk about when we say don't forget where you come from, right? Usually the people that are tripping, that like Moses is talking about, they had it in them from day one, the get-go. So it's not like they got in that position and they forgot type shit, you feel me?
For sure.
There's a lot of people who made it up in that position and they still looked out for the little homies, big homies, regular homies. At the end of the day, it's just the person who you are. I've said this maybe like 800 times on this podcast. Treat the CEO the same way you would treat the janitor. That comes back to this shit because it's just like, who are you as a human? If you're going to get one little, now you're a manager at Starbucks, so you're gonna be tripping on people and shit. You feel me? Like, I'm bringing up a stupid ass example, but it's like,
but it's real.
It shows you who you are as a person once you get. And I've seen it. My group of people is so tight, but I've seen it through other groups and shit where it's like one little motherfucker, they get into a position and now they think they got power. Like, sit your ass down, bro. Who are you in front of the face of God? Who are you on this planet? You're a little speck of dust, bro. You might sneeze too hard and your organs might fucking collapse.
Yeah, facts.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, that's all the rap. It's the person.
One other thing too, because I feel like it's so many different perspectives to look at this topic. And I just want to kind of like, I don't want to stay on the boss talk for too long, you know, because this was a lot of game we already gave them. But what I'm saying is that pretty much make sure when you sipping your liquor, you don't choke on camera.
You gonna do me that? Oh, hey, look, that's a clip. I know y'all gonna clip that. You gonna do your boy bad. Oh, like I'm a rookie or something.
But the other perspective that I was getting at,
JB just forgot where he came from, dog. He's fucking draining.
Right? Nah, this is where I came from, bro. We black. We don't let this go. You feel me?
We joke around. It's all love.
It's all love. Man, we podcast.
So what I was saying, the other perspective is like a personal one too, because I feel like where I'm at spiritually, the things that I'm doing in my life, I start to realize like, I don't want to call it mental health because that don't feel good enough. Spiritual health, I guess. Yeah. Right? Spiritual health is spiritual wealth. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I just remember things because I'm on my way up right now. And I just remember like the dreams that I had, the ideas, and you just want to stay grounded because before you know it, you could turn into somebody else.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you might not recognize yourself in the mirror. Mm-hmm. And I have mentioned it on this podcast before where I did have my moment, like the darkest moment.
Yeah.
Where I looked in the mirror and I cried. You know, I'm not even like, that's really what it is because I was like, damn, like I done went so far away from who I thought I was gonna be. Mm-hmm. And I ended up it was like a slow.
Yeah.
It was a slow, gradual over time.
You don't realize it's happening while it's happening.
Exactly. And that's crazy because, you know, on the way here, we was talking about that. I was telling Moses, like, I done so much stuff as far as, you know, achieving things, been around things. But, you know, the first time in my life that this ever had happened to me, like, I had a seizure last year, 2023, May 17th. And, mind you, when you go into that state, you're unconscious, right? But the only thing that I was able to take out of that was people don't understand the real meaning of what death is. Like, I done been shot at all different type of shit, not because I'm out here doing shit wilding, but, you know, we come from certain backgrounds and environments that's, like, inevitable that we're raised in. But to say the least, it just like the little stuff that we take for granted, like I don't care what you doing, you know what I'm saying? But my biggest regret is was like, damn, if I'm gonna go out like this, me thinking back, I'm like, in that state, I'm like, I didn't even get to fulfill my purpose. I gotta go out like that. That's a horrible for whatever, you know, field that you in or whatever you're trying to pursue. I'm like, damn, I gotta go out like that. Just reflecting, you know what I'm saying?
That must be a universal because every time I done almost been shot too. So it's like, and it's the moment you sitting there thinking like, oh, so this is it.
This is it.
Damn, man, when them bullets flying like whistles, but I'm telling you, like when it comes to the body stress or any, I'm gonna tell y'all on this podcast, just like I was telling Moses on the way up here, like, man, you know how they say stress can kill you? That's a real thing. And guess what? You never see it coming. You can be at your pinnacle, fly, got everything that you want at the fingertips of your hand. But when it comes to, you know, that real life and death, and with this, you feel me? That shit it's a different level because somebody who point a gun or stabbing you, that's human. But when it come to us, that's a whole different level of understanding around this thing. So,
another science
it really just gives you a different perspective on what matters. Like, what are you doing today? Like, are you going as hard as you can go? Even though, at times we may fall victim of like, I'll do this day or that day. Put shit off in so many words. Yeah. But, when I go out, like all of us, I want to go out with a purpose and a lineage, a legacy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is bigger than us. Regardless of what you're doing, where you at right now, what about your kids or your future kids, that you may have? You want to, that last name, that shit means a lot. You feel me? And just your overall character. So that's my whole trajectory.
You got your last name tatted on your back?
I don't, but I will.
You're pointing at your back, dog. You know how it is.
No, last name is,
A lot of homies, they're like, fool, I'm like, why do you get your last name tatted on your back? Like, fool, so when I fuck someone up and I'm walking away, they see my last name.
Hey, that's hilarious. If you want to talk about that, I'm going to get my street. You feel me? Right there.
But you feel your street or your last name, dog?
Well, I mean, in hindsight, of course, my last name. I'm just popping shit.
And going back off of like getting shot at and being in the situations that we've been in, we were talking about like it's crazy. Like for us, like I've been shot at. I've had knives put on me. I had a gun to my head, as you have, Max. I don't know if you have or not, but for us, it's crazy to see how it's normal.
Yeah,
but it's not.
It's not.
For us, it's normal.
No, I wouldn't even say it's normal.
No, it's not normal to us.
No.
Yeah.
But to
it's normal to us.
It's normal to us, but to the
average.
Like if you have certain conversations, I'm pretty sure you have.
I guess afterwards it becomes normal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In the moment, it's never normal. I laugh about everything, every painful event I've been through in my life. It's something that I laugh about.
But
because you got to live.
Yeah.
That's why.
I was telling him about a story where I was in a car with the homeboy talking about a certain situation, right? And it was a big radio person out in the back of my car.
Yeah.
And he's a white person. And he was hearing this story like, wait, that happened to you? And I was like, yeah. But I was talking about it like nothing.
Right.
And the way they looked like so scared, bro. They looked like they saw a ghost or something, Like before we came here, we were eating at a little, we had a drink at a bar, and like everybody around there is just like white people. But you could tell.
Which bar did you not invite me and Max to?
It's called Bruise Brothers. I told you guys about it before.
You guys you heard it here first.
First of all,
no invite sent out to me or Max.
I knew they were going to be running 45 minutes late, so there was no purpose in inviting them anyway.
That's a fact.
I'm out of it, so don't look at me. You feel me?
But anyway, so we were right there, and there's like nothing but white people around, but it's like white people that have money and this and that, and you can just tell like they've never been through anything like that. It's not. So if we were to tell them a story, it's not normal to them.
Yeah.
The craziest thing that happened to a white guy's life is like they didn't get to the fucking fraternity they wanted to go.
Hey, but they even be getting fucked up.
Crazy
I
shit.
didn't know until one of my best friends. I didn't know that they be fighting and shit within like the fraternities and all that.
Yeah.
I didn't been to college. Like I'm like. Y'all really be getting like DP type of shit. Like, God damn.
Hey, let me,
let me say.
Some of them different.
I got it. Like, I'm not going to say his name, right? Because I know, like, the career path that he's in. And first of all, I got a white homie who's a brother to me, right? Yeah. We didn't know each other since we were 12.
Mm-hmm. We all got him.
He knows what I'm talking about. He lives in Orange County still, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a whole different world over there, right?
Yeah,
Thank God that me and him have stayed connected the whole time because we can give each other a taste of the other person's reality, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I know how white people really be feeling about stuff, and then he knows how everybody else be feeling about stuff, and I share it with him, and we always, But the point being is, hey, my homie done been through some stuff over there. Like
over there in Orange County?
Yes.
They probably was different.
Yeah? He didn't been on some stuff just like us.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
Like that?
Hey, bro, anybody can hold a knife. Anybody can hold a gun.
I'm trying to tell you.
And anybody could take drugs. Anybody could use them. You got drug addicts from here to Timbuktu everywhere. You feel me?
Well, another thing we were talking about, like, it's a sad day that we live in because, like, back then, the way we grew up, right, it was like, you got beef, oh, we're fighting.
Yeah.
We're using these.
Feel me?
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all been shot at and this and that, but that was like if
Protocol.
yeah. Nowadays, that's the first thing they go to is just pulling out a gun on you, and they'll shoot.
And they be having
Right
some
away.
shit. A nigga will shoot you
Yeah,
up until
it's
you
all-
catch on fire. They got some shit. Like
Till they
back
make
in
you
the
into
days,
a fucking fence, dog.
hey,
type shit.
like
Or
man,
steel fences.
exactly. Like back in our days, yeah, people had pistols. These niggas got assault rifles.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I just lost, somebody, in a situation like that. You know,
R.I.P.
they hopping out with army guns,
Yeah, bro.
M16s, shit that don't even you gotta know certain people. You gotta call up the cartel. Like, hey,
yeah.
you feel me?
Que
But-
pasó, güey?
Yeah, exactly. No, that
Leave
shit
that
is
to me
real.
next.
That shit is real. That shit is real. You know?
I got it. He said I got it.
Yeah,
I got
Leave
it.
that to me.
For real.
If this
You need
calls
what?
the cartel's gonna be like,
You need what? We dropping it off.
Where's Max?
Call
Yeah,
Mac.
they're gonna
Call
ask
Big
for
Mac.
Max. Yeah.
No, but you know what's crazy about that? How like people be pulling out guns now instead of fighting is like imagine being somebody of integrity, value, morals, ethics. You kept the G on that G code 100%.
Yeah.
And then one day you some little like dumbass. I won't name a race.
Yeah.
But some little dumbass acts up and you're like, hey, fool, cocking your hand back to slap him, and this little fool just pulls out a fucking pistol and pussy.
Oh.
He's a pussy. He's scared. And that's the way you go.
Yeah.
If imagine how crazy that is.
Nah, but you know what, though?
I do want to shout out that food. You guys seen that food K-Mac? You know what that
Oh,
is?
yeah.
I want to shout out that
K-Mac.
food K-Mac because what he's doing for the community is dope. It's called Friendly Fade Factory, right?
Right, exactly.
Friendly Fade Factory. So he has people come on and they throw blows with
Wobbling up.
boxing gloves. Sometimes they'll have headgear on and this
So-
and that is dope. I think that's a super good thing that he's doing.
I actually had the opportunity, so I'll share it with the people here.
okay.
I'm driving. I'm in LA all the time, and so I'm in downtown LA all the time. And I'm driving, and I'm trying to click on my maps. And you know how when somebody goes live, it pops up in the top.
Yeah.
And so right when I was trying to click on the maps, I accidentally clicked on his live, like his bubble popped up.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I saw where he was at, and it's like where I be at all the time.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm joking with him because, his whole thing is like, who want the fade? Like, he had just left the barbershop. He was like, who wants to fade and everything like that? So I told him like, oh, I need that. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I told him,
Let's get to
and
it.
so and I'm joking with him because at the same time, I know he don't know that I know exactly where he's at because I recognize.
Ooh.
So I told him,
You a dangerous man.
yeah. So I told him, I was like, hey, bro, I'm right here on such and such street. I don't want to say it on camera. I don't need nobody to know where I be at. So, and he was like, oh, Javon said he's right here. So him and his homie, they start mobbing to the location I told him. And first of all, I rock with him. Like I just be like, I'm not about to fight nobody for pretend ever in my life because I need to fight for real when it's time.
Yeah, because that's how you get killed.
I mean,
You ain't playing.
Even then, I don't want to like. I'm not about to lose a fake fight.
No.
Right? I don't want to hurt
Can't.
you if I love you. If I love you, I don't want to hurt you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, no. Like, but anyways, he pulled up. I got to chop it up with him. And then I brought him to, shout out to the homie Joey. If anybody's ever in downtown LA and you want some fire hibachi, Flame Bachi off of 7th and Broadway, in between Broadway and Spring. I promise you, it's the best hibachi in LA. I done went to we all went to all the other ones, right? This is the fire spot right here. So anyways, I brought him to the homie spot and had him try that. He did a promo for him and everything like that. But yeah, shout out to the Friendly Fade Factory.
There we go.
Yeah, hey, a lot of if they made it, look, I'm gonna look in this camera. You feel me? I know we on this podcast. I'm supposed to be looking at them,
Talk
but
to
no,
the
for
people.
y'all.
There you go.
If they made this a law to where you had to catch a fade in order to get a gun, a lot of these dudes wouldn't have a gun.
Straight
up. Because guess what?
So true.
Guess
bro.
what? Once you hit that system, meaning you going to jail, ain't
It's a
nobody
whole
got
different
guns.
story,
They
yeah.
got hands and bangers.
Yep.
Shit to poke you with. That's will take
They
you
got
out.
those-
Bone
those
crushers.
Bone crushers, yep.
Shit this big. You like, damn, this thing got a samurai sword.
You put that out his
This shit
ass?
real,
Samurai
huh?
shake.
And I got homies that really didn't live through that or lived that. It's
Oh, yeah, yeah. I got
not
family
cool,
that
man.
And that's
been
off the
through it.
back, dog.
Off
Well,
the back.
you know what? Like kind of trying to like move into something else because I want to get to something else that we spoke about off camera, but
Right.
I want to give it some context, right? So for
Sure.
anybody who's going to view this, who's not from California, I feel like, so half of my family is from Mississippi.
Okay. Same.
Okay. What part?
Is it Jackson?
Jackson? Okay.
Yeah. And Louisiana and New.
Okay.
All that, but go ahead.
Yeah. Moss Point, Pascagoula area. So,
okay.
Anyways, what's funny is every time I go back over there, they think that this is all for show. They don't understand that California is really California.
Right.
Like, they don't understand this is really gang capital
LA.
of the world.
LA specifically, I would say.
We have influenced the planet as far as like gang activity, right? And I'm not saying this from a bragging standpoint. I'm just saying like this is where it started, right?
For sure.
And so the thing about it is that I just feel like, you know, we got to find a way to enlighten people that this is real. It's real. Those bullets are real. That jail time is real. That time away from your family is real. You don't really know what you're risking trying to like appease to an image. Or whatnot.
Appease to a lifestyle that's never gonna appease to you.
More an image, bro. I feel like everybody, like I can say this. I feel like anybody who gangbangs, it's all about trying to impress. That's where you start off at. As a kid, you're a kid. You don't know nothing. You don't got no stripes. And so you want that. You want the stripes.
You're looking up to certain people.
That influence is crazy.
Yeah. And you really need to, you know. So I guess basically the point is this. This is what I want to circle back around before I give him my whole little inspirational speech. Is that you being from Compton, I think that a lot of people started to take Compton as a joke nowadays because you have so many people. You have so many people who have had success from Compton, right? I feel like they forget. Right. And they think that it's almost like, bro, like Obama won president, and then all of a sudden they thought, oh, it's good to be black now. Nah, we still experiencing the same thing.
This ain't no trend.
Yeah.
So what I want you to do is just kind of elaborate like on life, what it's like in Compton still to this day. What are you seeing? What do you hope to see from Compton? Like what direction?
First of all, are you still in Compton?
Yeah. I'm still right there.
You ain't gonna say exactly where he's at.
I'm not gonna say his fuck. I'm not saying his fuck.
We need the address and apartment number. No.
Right. It's all good. And by the way, y'all some great podcasters with the questions, the information, and actually to go in depth with conversations. Just like I told Moses. I'm against all this content shit. And I know y'all know what I mean.
Yep.
Meaning people do anything just for
the clout.
Some gay shit, feel me? I ain't with none of that. Like, I'm chill. He knows me, but I'm a businessman, but I also got another side. Just off of respect as a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I respect all walks of life, but there's certain people that you can't, play with respectfully. I done been with the best of them and the worst of them.
Right.
And in the middle.
Right.
But, basically, man, the city need help. Like, I know we talking about Compton, but any rural area that we come from or that is, we don't have resources. Like, check this out. So, when the pandemic was going on, when Trump was giving all that money, crime rate went down because everybody had money. But, the average being coming from where we come from don't know how to use this or don't want to get out here and get it because like, man, look, I got kids, I got this and that. Some people, circumstances are built differently and they have a certain amount that they need to obtain. So they going to get it how they get it. So, but yeah, the city need resources, but that's more of a negative side by default. That has nothing to do with us currently, but it is a lot of shit that we do that's great. Like we have, shout out to my bros. We have basically a nonprofit called Rosecrans ENT. That's right. Rosecrans is the main street that I live on and where we from. And we basically...
He said they're tripping over here.
No, that's not even the street he lives on.
All right.
Yeah. Nah, man. We basically give back to the community on, certain holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc. And we try to do with what we can, but as a collective, we try to come together and put our tools and fuse together and really, mount up from that. But
do you feel like I mean, I know. First of all, I already know.
Yeah,
but
you know.
the cameras need to.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
The
for sure.
The people need to know.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you feel like it's a thing where you sometimes you gotta, first of all, shout out to Kendrick.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas, right?
In a real way.
Right. Hey, and that's why, like, first of all, side note, that's why I love everything that he's doing, because the things that he's doing is like how I feel on the inside every day, though. You like sometimes like, all right, don't forget. Do not forget like what it really is. You feel me? And so I feel like when it comes to it's not a bragging thing, it's just that people don't understand like what comes from when you have a certain background. They don't understand the reality that you have, how in touch, how down to earth you really become. As you spoke about earlier, almost losing life, having life lost around you, it really puts you in a perspective of what's really important and what's not. And it also will make you man up like quick. Like, I'm not afraid to tell somebody how I feel or anything to that sort, because life is short. You know, I only got so much time to say what I need to say. Do you feel like people who grow up in Compton are missing anything as far as being in touch with reality? Or do you feel like this is a city where growing up here, you gotta be real, you gotta be genuine. You don't have time to be fake growing up in Compton. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a deep question. I mean, can you go in a little bit more so I can really hit? Because it's for them. We already know what it is.
Right. So I guess what I'm saying is, again, like, I'll kind of just try and re-ask the same question, but like, do you feel like there are people who are from Compton who are able to, and this question is not for Compton, it's just we have somebody from Compton here, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Do you feel, because this is applying to any hood anywhere that's known, right? So
for sure.
Or not known, but just a hood in general.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there are people out here who are running around with Compton on their back who are not genuine, in the aspect of like they're living off of what came before? Like it was real before, but it's not real now, but I get to run around and say Compton.
Yeah, I mean, right now, speaking on that, it's a trend. We got the whole, like, which is my big bro, K-Dot, you feel me? It's like people like to represent it, but they don't want to take what come with it. Like, for us who come from these type of areas, this shit come with a lot of shit by default. You don't have to be out here wilding and none of that. Like, people get hit with straight bullets, circumstances, at any time. And, my whole thing is just like, I feel to kind of get on a political side and economy-wise, we are stronger together. They can't fuck with no race when they all together. Mm-hmm. Instead of bickering and talk about all this shit that don't matter. You feel me? Because the big wigs, they looking at us like, y'all tripping off that. Y'all shooting each other. Y'all doing this and doing that. Like, if people really knew how much each year motherfuckers is making off of us, by being locked up, like, these niggas is making $1 million, $100,000 each year that you're locked up. It's a business. You feel me? So everything that we're going through or experience or no family, whatever, our economy is not really, like, none of this shit was built for us. All these props, the only thing that people need to be voting for is community-wise. All that other shit, that's not for us.
Right.
You're not even in a tax bracket, first of all.
Right.
So they don't see us.
And that's it. And that...
You're talking about presidents and stuff?
No. Yeah, who running our country.
I don't think he just means and I also
just said that,
I just want to, but I don't feel like he means it in that aspect. And I'll let you go on. Is that I feel like it's more of a classism
Exactly.
issue. It's not really a race thing. It's just classism.
Exactly.
Because there are white people who are going through the same thing that we're going through as black people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right over here.
And I'm sure there's some black people that are making a shit ton of money that look down on every class, not even their own people.
But guess what? You don't see them. Anybody can you name or tell me what the nigga who owned Taco Bell look like? Or McDonald's? No.
No.
You don't see only people we see is Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, etc.
Yeah.
Because that's what they choose to be.
They choose to show themselves.
Exactly. But other than that, it's people, don't get me wrong, the economy is fucked up, but there's also a lot of people, pockets is full, walking around with money. You don't even know.
You don't even
Ain't no
know.
jewelry, no accessories. You can look at their car, they watch, be like, oh, he knows something, even if you don't know him.
Mm-hmm.
You can be in the Starbucks in a certain area.
Bro, remember when we had that meeting at Starbucks in Compton?
Exactly. I told you, pull up.
That was years ago, too. And
Exactly.
here we are today, bro. Remember all the goals and stuff I told you that I wanted to be at?
We doing the same shit.
Here we are at now.
Feel me?
But
it's a process.
I want to talk about like how people, right, like growing up in the hood.
Yeah.
And then you come out of it and you do something great for yourself.
Yeah.
The ones that keep wanting to go back into it.
Oh my God. Ridiculous.
Why do you want to go back? It's like my goal was always to get out of the hood.
Right.
Because I know how, like I just been through so much. So have you, all of us.
I'm sorry, is John Morant, is he originally from the hood?
No.
I have no idea, but if you're making that much money, there you go. If you're making that much fucking money, what are you doing, dog? Look out for the hoods.
Yeah, look out for
posted in the fucking hoods, dog.
And that's another thing. It's like you could do a lot for the hood that you grew up in, right? Do a lot for the community. But why do you want to go back and live there or be a part of it or still try to rep a gang and shit? There's no reason to do that, bro. It's like you made it out, cool. Make it out. Start
Help
a family, keep your family out of it. You want to do better for yourself. You know, like for me, like I've always wanted to get out and do better for myself, but I'll do a lot of shit for the community.
Look, and I know I'm a guest, but we talking about me. Like, look at Moses. Moses come from a certain demographic too.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, look at him. Look, he fly, got the trench coat. You know what I'm saying?
Fulminator.
He tailored up. He tailored up.
You feel me?
You feel me?
I've done that for myself. Like I used to dress a certain way.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, I'm gonna dress this way now because that's the person I want to be.
Exactly.
You know?
Who used to dress up like a Peaky Blinder? He had the fucking shit in his hat, pull it out,
no, Peaky Blinder now, but that was another era. But there was an era before that era, which was, a little Cholito era and shit.
Yeah, but look, that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And all of our sake, I don't have to know you men since I was a baby, but I mean, look at us, like we prospering. And right now, we're doing the right thing. You feel me?
Yeah.
Instead of being on bullshit, which we can revert to. That's our natural nature.
Exactly.
And you know what I think it is? I feel like in all of this is just God. It's God's light shining through it all.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like always as a person who sees what you're going through and you're passing these obstacles in life, you always have to give that thanks to God first.
Right.
Regardless. Because that's, where did you get that light to want to change? It wasn't from the devil. It's from God. God's putting that light inside of you. So you're like, hopping over these obstacles every day. I'm going to be better every day. I'm going to change the way I dress, look, walk, talk.
Exactly. And
so all praise to God, always.
Amen.
It's like, if I'm in a certain environment, right? Like, I could still be around people from the hood and I know how to act. But I could be around a bunch of CEOs and I know how to act.
We was just talking about that.
You feel me? It's like, I know how to talk. I know how to walk. You're gonna,
Yeah.
You're gonna have both parts still.
And
there's still, the hood can still come out of you.
Yeah,
like it still comes out of me sometimes. I'm like, let me back up a little bit because bad choices could ruin your whole goals and your dreams that you're working so hard for. Where like if I fuck a motherfucker up in a bar or some shit and I go to jail and now I'm doing some time, now I'm setting myself back.
They pulling up that address. You say you what?
Hey, you know what I mean? You know what's crazy?
You're affiliated just right here.
Just a quick trip down memory lane.
Yeah.
Before my wife was my wife, and we were just friends.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. We went out on a drunken night. It was like me, her sister, and another person who's not gonna get mentioned here. But either way, the point is, long story short, too, I'm not even gonna give the whole story. A fight ends up breaking out. So like somebody crashed into my car. They crashed into my car, right?
Damn.
I'm in a 2005 Impala at the time, and they're in like a Benz. Whatever year that was, they were in that year Benz, right?
Yeah.
And I can't even believe to this day that they really said, "Let me just go ahead and crash into them," right? Because I'm trying to murder.
Oh, they literally did it?
Oh, bro, we like in Hollywood, and I'm trying to like switch over, and I'm signaling. They're not trying to let me through, so I'm thinking, oh, it's cool. I'm gonna just speed up, and then like
I need to drink to this
nigga sped up too. Like, nah, you not. What?
Reckless.
Right? And I'm thinking too, I'm like, bro, I'm in an '05 Impala. I know you don't want to crash this Benz.
Right.
He wanted to crash that Benz. So he crashed into like the side, well, no, nothing major, but crashed into the side of my car. Everybody in his car is drunk. So they get out.
Can I just ask the question that all of us have on our minds right now?
Please ask
Yeah.
it.
What was the nationalities?
If I
That's a great
remember correctly,
I wasn't even thinking that, but
That's a great question.
Yeah. I think, dude, he's trying to dap you up. You can't
Oh
be
shit,
like,
I mean, hanging, dog.
My bad.
that's going on camera.
Yeah,
like
that's
Moses
my
Pan.
boy. Look, my boy, like, come on now.
I think if I remember correct, so I think all the females, they had to be like either like Asian or Hispanic. And I think that the driver, which was the only male in the car, I think that dude, I believe he may have been like white or Hispanic.
Okay.
This is a long time ago. So anyways,
the Mexican delegation do not approve of this message.
I figured we figured as much. But
Fucking lame.
but what I was getting at is that
They may be Asian.
yeah, they may he wasn't Asian for sure. He was either Hispanic or white.
I'm not chiming in on shit.
But
go ahead.
But either way, point being is that they get out the car, making the scene and everything like that. Long story short, what ends up happening is my wife and her sister end up getting into a scuffle with the females in that car. So like the whole fight breaks out.
Yeah.
As soon as this fight breaks out, I just immediately looked at the dude.
What you trying to do, dog?
Man.
What it is? What time is it, right?
Yeah.
Man.
And he looked at me like,
It's 12
not
o'clock,
today.
dog.
Yeah, look.
I don't want none.
No.
Yeah. Right? And so I said, cool. I'm not no bully. So
Yeah.
all we proceeded to do was just
Pull them
pull them apart, and that's it. He never hit nobody. I didn't hit nobody. But the next day, after we go clubbing, because we still went clubbing and everything like that. Right? The next day, I'm at my pop's house and I get like knocking at the door, and I'm still in my drawers, and detectives come.
Oh no!
Right, and I'm back in Alhambra at this time, right? So they come talking about, pretty much I get arrested. They drive me all the way to Hollywood because those females lied and said that like I put hands on somebody.
Nah.
They be tripping
Right.
out there. You was in that precinct?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, ultimately what ended up happening was that they let me out because I don't think that they were from Arizona. So I don't think they really knew like how serious what they were claiming really was.
Yeah.
So once they realized, oh, these niggas done picked him up and they got him in jail, they told him oh, nothing happened.
Dumbass.
So they just released me, But yeah, they will come for you.
That's why. So it goes to show, like, you gotta watch, especially if you're going somewhere in your life or regardless. Like, watch what you're doing. You gotta be able to control your emotions because it could get you into some bullshit.
Look,
100%.
I'm gonna tell you something. Funny thing about that. So one of my older brother's friends, right? Asian dude, chill, real nice, right? Whole time, dude is a professional MMA fighter, right? Somebody, at a bar, they drunk, they talking reckless. Man, the dude who he had got into it with, because he was coming at him, like, he real cool, shake your hand real soft, real respectable man at the end of the day. Stand up man, about yay high, with all the dumb shit. He got the run in his goddamn mouth. That dude who he went against broke his ribs, legs, all type of shit.
Damn.
Because you looking at somebody, right? Like me, I'm gonna say this to you men. Regardless, whoever I'm in a room with, trust and believe, I done size you up. All right. I know who's this person, that person, that person. Okay.
As every male.
Every male. You have to. And
have to,
that doesn't mean that you own bullshit, but you just assessing.
You gotta know.
You gotta know.
Yeah.
You feel me? And
I'm sitting by. I need to see who coming in that door. Like
all that. Look, you feel me? If I'm pulling or I'm doing this type shit, but people so quick to judge off appearance, man. I seen some cold dudes, and like I was telling Moses, which we all know in this room, man, I'm telling you, the most volatile men that I done been around is respectful. Because
100%.
Guess what? Even if you are wilding out here, right? You think you this or you think you that, you go to that penitentiary, everybody's respectful. If I step on your foot and you a killer, guess what? Them dudes, is saying, excuse me, my bad, because the shit can go up.
Right.
Do you know what I'm in here for?
Yeah.
Type shit. So at the end of the day, we gotta respect us as men type shit. And people so quick to judge. And I be like, yeah, I know you don't know. You a victim.
I'm gonna put it to you like this.
That's why you never judge a book by its cover.
Never.
I mean, I know
always good to be respectful.
You just need to know what type of cover you're looking at, right? Yeah. Because I can assess a situation, but that kind of like brings it right back around to the question that I asked initially, right?
Yeah.
So me, I don't misjudge people anymore. I could tell.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell. I don't care how nice somebody's being. I could tell when somebody tells me, hey, you know that. I met a dude probably like, I don't know, like last year or whatever. Funny, got jokes and everything like that. And then after he was gone, the person that introduced me to him was like, you know how many bodies that nigga got on him?
That's what we were talking about.
We gonna go into that.
Yeah, that's what we were
like, do you know how many?
Go into that.
Like he's like, bro, I'm not even kidding. He's like, do you know how many people he has killed?
Yeah,
right.
That doesn't even surprise me for a fucking psychic dog, because I know from experience, I know from living through it, is that it's the people who have respect. It's the people who smile at you, bro.
I'm
Humble.
trying to tell you.
But like, don't test them, bro.
Yeah.
Don't breathe wrong around them.
It's a front.
But it's the people who are always trying to prove a point either to themselves or to the world.
Yeah.
That amount to not that it's literally like they got a void in them. It's those motherfuckers that we're talking about that won't put their fists up, but they're gonna go for the gun because they're scared of losing, but they still want to win in a bitch path. So 100%, bro. The realest motherfuckers I've met, people like that too. It never surprises me, bro.
Look, can I get in?
Let me ask you something. Like, how many people have you had that you fought that were so fucking loud, that were talking all this trash, right?
You know,
all this shit, being loud, like "fuck you, mother," like being loud, and then you're just right there, calm, cool, collective. You want to scrap? Boom, boom, boom.
People have ever fought.
No, my personal experience, bro. Like, so for one, growing up, like. In the Alhambra area, and like, you know, black over there is like super minority, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of people who are just afraid of me just because of my skin color, right?
Right. Yeah,
I'm not for the cameras, I'm not Superman. I can't beat up everybody. I can't tell you I've never lost a fight in the streets, but at the same time, I know, you know, I see niggas all the time be thinking like, I never beat that dude, like, and I'm probably lying to myself because I might be able to beat him, but I'm kind of like more real with myself. So
you're not underestimating the person.
I don't underestimate, especially I'm a trained fighter.
Me too. I was gonna talk about that.
All of us.
Okay. Hey, so I think you hear that? Don't mess with these dudes. You feel me?
Hey, what podcast wants to go at us?
Hey, they lethal. We lethal.
That's what we need. We need a what is it?
But you never know. Like, I know niggas like who trained, who like got out of shape, but was still like in an instance like break arms, legs, everything quick like that, and they never look like it. So like for me, when I'm like, I can size people up, but I kind of like look at how you carry yourself and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure.
You can tell, but I've seen all the different type of personalities. But before we get too far off of this, the reason I asked the question about that is because I know for a fact that there are people who are not from California who think that this is a game, that what we speak about in music is not really happening. We're just living off of somebody else's story, living vicariously through somebody else. They don't understand it's still that way right now. And the reason that I even got to all of this is because of, again, your boy Kendrick, right?
Yeah.
Who you know personally.
Yeah.
Through my big brothers.
There you go.
The reason that I bring this up is because, first of all, shouts out to him, like everything that he's doing right now. I love it for hip hop. Me personally, I love music. I don't listen to music, I love it.
Exactly.
And to have watched like the decline of hip hop in general, it's just been something that's infuriating.
Yeah.
And to have artists like Kendrick who will still be genuine about what they're doing, it means a lot to me.
I like what he said. He said the whole beef was for the sport of it. Did you see that?
Because
that's what it was.
Because it can't get real. You don't come from that. Like a bully doesn't get respected if he's picking on somebody.
100%.
Exactly.
We don't like bullies, bro.
Yeah. I'll bully a bully.
And that's
exactly. That's where we come from.
And look, that's all. All right, now I'm about to land this flight.
Yes, sir.
Jet about to hit the runway. So what I'm saying is, it's so funny to me that people would even try and bring up any type of comparison between like somebody like Drake and Kendrick,
Max.
Because it's like you can't even possibly be. Nah.
No, Drake's a big homie.
Hold on. So you can't even be
The
this
only
level.
Drake I like is Draco, the ruler. All right,
But I'm just saying you can't even understand like the amount of loss that comes from being from like tied to a neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not talking about life. I'm talking about like life and like, yeah, niggas is dead. Niggas is gone in prison. You know, whatever. Niggas is gone strung out on drugs.
Yeah.
You got to watch people you grew up with. They not even there no more.
Yeah,
Man.
they don't think the same.
And so the only reason I'm bringing this up is because we got a Super Bowl coming up in like 2 days.
Yeah,
Kendrick's gonna be there.
For sure.
And I just feel like I see a lot of hate going in Kendrick's direction from people who just don't get it. I could tell right off the bat. People who don't experience it. If you've experienced it, you can't hate on it. You cannot hate on it. I'm not even, me, myself, personally, I am not from the hood, but I'm a real street dude, and I done been in these trenches for real. Yeah. You know, so if you really experience the streets, there's some things you cannot hate on because what's understood don't even need to be spoken.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And I could even go off of that with like the whole, are people wanting a Lefty gunplay or not to be part of it? So here's the thing. Do I like Lefty as a person or a rapper? I don't fuck with his music. Do I like him as a person? I met this as a Mexican.
On your own people, dog.
No,
he's Guatemalan though.
No, he is?
He's not Mexican.
No, he's not Mexican. But I will say this. Will I be happy that if he is part of the Super Bowl? Yeah, because he's holding it down for the brown community. At least he's giving the brown community a name for the next good person. You know?
So you're saying he's like a step?
He's opening the door.
He's a door opener.
Yeah,
for sure.
Up the door for it.
And mind you, with all that, like, first of all, I knew about all this shit. I'm not just somebody saying some shit just to say it. First of all, I ain't getting paid. I don't live his lifestyle, but that's just my bro. But when it comes to all that shit, we, have to keep it discreet. Like, people sign NDAs, all type of stuff. But it's a pathway to show that we as one, because yes, there's tension on black on any other race, but that came, to unify everything, and he proved it. You feel me? Look, let me grab you from over here. Oh, you a Crip? You this? You that? Yep. Okay. You what race? Okay. Bring it all together.
Unified it all, especially in that music video. Look at that music video.
Come on now,
bro.
Packed out. You feel me?
Hard.
And that dude, like, you gotta understand, and this is what I was telling Moses, and we all can relate to this in this room. People don't understand that you literally can come from a couch to infinity. And the average being, they only look at you in a moment. All right, what you got right now? What you doing? This and that. They not understanding. It goes back to, really, I learned this from both sides of what I'm about to say, from the streets and fighting. But I know who's in front of me. I don't have to be around you 24/7. I know your mannerism. I know your vernacular, substance of what you carrying to, all right, give me an idea about you. But it's crazy how some people can know that and they still take that for granted. And then once you go from here to here, oh yeah, this my bro right here, blah, 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 such and such, this and that. But it's some shit that I will not say on camera on how I'm pretty sure you guys experience on people that you may have surpassed expectations on how bad they talked about them for no reason, just because it's their norm of, yeah, man, it's just my bro, like whatever. They're comfortable with that.
Everyone lives a lame life like they do.
Yeah.
Wait, maybe I'm drunk. What do you explain that? Like, you're saying.
Did I say what you were trying to say, though? Did I end your sentence off correctly?
It could be like how, I'll put it to you like this, like a female, right? You can hit up a female and they're not going to be interested in you. But when you come to this certain level, they'll end up getting at you.
I think
because you're at this level now.
Now I think you were saying the opposite. When they see you go up, they'll be talking shit for no reason. Was that what you were getting at?
No.
They can go both ways. But
yeah, both ways. But the opposite of that, like, okay, I knew personally you probably could pop, but now I know because you actually did it. So now your value just went up. Like basically people can see what you are, but they just don't acknowledge it.
Oh yeah.
And then once you pop, now it's what's up, bro? What we doing?
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, this and that, or hey babe, I'm sorry. I was busy. Man, I don't want to hear all that shit. You know what I was on. Wow, just like Drake said. I mean, you feel me? Bitch, you wasn't shooting with me in the gym.
Right.
It's a fact.
I'm not even gonna lie. I had girls that I DM'd before, and they didn't fuck with me, but they see everything that I've been doing, and they're fucking with me, and I'm like, eh.
And you're still
you know
hooking
what
up
it
with
is.
them.
Like, come on, man. You know what it is. You know what it is.
But they're paying for my dinner now.
Exactly.
That's how it gotta be, dog.
It's kind of crazy because, like, speaking for myself, I feel like I know that I'm a real, like, I'm not saying everybody's not unique. Everybody is unique.
Yes, sir.
But for myself, when I was just telling my wife last night, like, people I went to elementary school or high school with, and then I haven't seen them in a couple of years, and then I'd be out at the store or wherever else, and then niggas act like they don't know you.
Oh,
like,
my
you know
God.
what I'm saying? And for me, just in case any one of you guys sees this podcast, I would love to say hello to you. We don't need to. I don't need to know what you're doing with your life. Just what's up? Yeah, that's it. Because we known each other since I know what you were like as a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or whatever.
I done been in your house.
Nigga. Something, right?
It's not even that. It's your humanity, bro.
Come on now.
Exactly.
And that's even deeper.
Exactly. That's it.
That's a perfect way to put it.
Same thing with that, the whole, when we were talking about before the boss talk, don't forget where you are, don't forget where you be at. Bro, I don't care anybody, bro. I'll see my enemy. And I'll still be like, what's up, dog?
I don't know about that one, but...
No, I definitely need it. Like, what's up?
What's up, man?
I mean, you know...
What I mean by enemy, listen.
He's just saying like a mutual understanding.
Let me explain to what I'm saying, though. Because when I say enemy, I don't have a current enemy, dog. Anyone that was an enemy for 30 minutes, maybe 2-3 days till I got to see him. But after that, after what happened, dog, I don't got a problem with anybody, bro. You feel me?
Right.
The goal in life right now is to not have enemies, bro. I'm not out here looking for enemies, dog. I'm out here to help people. That's not the purpose. That's not the reason for why God brought me into this life. I'm on a different tip of this enlightenment shit and just trying to like help people, lift the fallen up, bro. Help the sick, feed the hungry. I'm gonna stand here and look at you for fucking 10 seconds till somebody fucking stands up. Fuck all that shit. But also I want to bring up something that's happening in today's day and age. With the deportations and with the protests that are going on. And I know we have a delegate from the Latin community. So I want to first ask you, and then we go around and I just want to know what everybody thinks.
Yeah.
What do you think about this thing what do you think about what's going on with the deportations with ICE? Do you have anyone that's affected by this?
Hey, you better not hold back. Don't do no bullshit.
No,
let it rip because they need to hear it.
He already got the link. He got the drink in him already, so it's coming.
Let it rip.
We're gonna hear more than we want to hear.
Yeah, I need to hear the real. Fuck these cameras. Talk to them.
Yeah. Nah, look. Here's what it is, bro. It's a sad thing to see. I don't see how people could go ahead and mock this that's happening because children are literally losing their parents.
Right.
How can you see that and make a mockery of it and laugh at it? That's not the right thing to do. Now, are there immigrants over here in America that are doing wrong? Of course there are. Mm-hmm. With that being said, if they're doing wrong and you see that they're an illegal immigrant and they have a record, take them out of here. I completely agree with that. But if you see that they're an immigrant, they're literally paying taxes to America, but they're an immigrant. Mm-hmm. They have a steady job. They're right here taking care of their families. They're not doing no harm to you. Let them be.
So have you had anybody that's been affected that were actually good people?
That's a good question.
Because from so far from what I've been hearing and I've been talking to my compas and shit, even Armenians, bro, because let's not forget, we're coming through the same borders your people are coming from.
You Armenian?
I'm Armenian.
Oh, okay. Respect.
What do you think I was?
Okay, respect.
Good looking.
What did you think he was for the camera?
Yeah, straight up. What do you think I was?
I didn't know, but
just don't say a white boy.
Look, just off of
anything but a white American trap.
Just off of let me say this, ignorant assumptions. I thought you would probably be from the Latin
Latin?
Yeah.
No, I've gotten that a lot. Not Mexican, but Spanish. Who's affected by this? My bad.
So me in particular, I'm not affected. My family, can they be affected? Yeah, I have family that can be affected. My grandpa can be affected. So
why can he be affected? Just for clarification for the camera.
My grandpa can be affected because he crossed the border.
Technically not legal.
He's technically not legal.
Let me ask you a question though before you go on about that. How would you feel knowing that your grandfather could be affected by this? Somebody else who has nobody that they're related to that could be affected by this, saying that like everything that's happened with immigration, they're all for it. Can you be friends with somebody who is on the opposing side of something like this? How do you feel? Because that's your grandfather. I'm sure you're close with him. You have a lot of love for him.
Right.
And look, might I say, before y'all go into depth, I'm going to pass because, I know what's up with my level of understanding, but there's things that I don't know. So I'm going to just say I'm with they should be here type shit, regardless of, certain things. So I don't have much knowledge on this one, so I'm going to stay out of it.
I would, oh man, bro, it would be such a disagreement if it was like, because look, for me, I understand if you've done a criminal thing over here in America, if you murder somebody, rape somebody, fucking done anything like that, and you're not legal, send them back. But if you've literally come over here illegally and you're making a living, you're paying taxes, you're doing great stuff for the community, you raise a family, why can't they stay? Let me ask you this. If they're going to send all the illegals away, where are we going to all eat at restaurants? The best restaurants are all from fucking Mexicans, bro.
Just immigrants in general, even immigrants from other countries. Yeah, even
course,
like.
Let's not forget about carousel.
That's true.
But you never know that.
Which does happen.
I just thought of that real quick. I'm like,
great. Now Carousel's about to get raided.
But who brought
Thanks,
the recipes?
Max. I might have to cut this out. We'll see.
It's all good.
But what I'm saying, bro, is like, like if there's illegal immigrants and they've literally done no crime, let them stay.
But here's what I think about when you're bringing up the labor force, right? You're saying that, but they're doing jobs that other people would not, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a excuse that Democrats use that who's gonna do this shit? First of all, you don't look at a human as in my perspective, and I'm not saying I agree with the way the Republicans are looking right now. I'm looking at it the way I want to agree with shit, how I want to perceive, conceive, and say it from my mouth. If you're looking at any person as, they're gonna be working for a good wage, and you're only using these specific group of people, which the Democrats do, as a working force. You get what I'm saying? They don't want to pay Americans the wages they're going to pay, so let's let these immigrants in. Now, I'm not saying vote this side or that side. I just want to say for the people who are so democratic or so on one side of the political spectrum, their reasoning of wanting to keep in immigrants are so wrong from the moral or ethic reasons that you may have in your heart for wanting to keep them.
They really treat them like prisoners.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
Let me
what's your reasoning?
But
I have
like,
let
me ask.
No. Like, my bad. Let me. Are you for it? Are you against it? Or what do you
for
feel?
Immigration?
Yeah,
bro. Let me break it down.
The way it's currently going down.
Let me break it down.
Like how
so I'm Armenian. I obviously, like I was talking to Moses off cam. I said, we got people pulling up from the same borders that you guys, that the Mexican compas are coming through. The Armenians are coming that way. Argentinians, all these people, right? So for me to stand and say, no, send them the fuck out, that's not right. This is a type of issue where I'm in the middle of it, right? If they're a criminal or they have a criminal background, get the fuck out of this country.
Send them back.
But when I talk about any issue, I'm going to talk at it looking at the perspective of where this issue is coming from. So we're talking politics. This issue stems from politics, so I'm going to look at it politically. When you have people like Biden, and I'm not going to say Obama, because statistically, Obama has deported way more people than even Trump did in his first term, if you guys didn't know.
It's crazy how we never really heard about that thing. But it's a social media thing. Huh?
No, this is facts.
A media thing.
Bro, Obama...
what he's saying is true. I'm not even going to debate that.
Obama deported more people.
Really?
So, 100%. My whole thing is with this, bro, is just, if you're a criminal, then you shouldn't be here. But when you have people like Biden who just let any and anyone comes, first of all, now you're fucking it up for the good immigrants. Because we're looking at it politically. I'm saying it. I'm looking at it from a political standpoint. Then I can look at it from an emotional standpoint and go start causing ruckus. But We all know this as men.
That's
nothing
true.
done through emotion has ever gotten anyone anywhere,
That's
bro.
true.
Either jail, locked up, fucked up,
or dead.
lost, dead.
Yeah.
So fuck emotion, dog. The people who make it all the way to the top or understand situations correctly do it from logistics,
'cause the
logic.
people that do it out of emotion, you're a woman.
Exactly.
Yeah,
there you
exactly.
go. And
Leave
back to
that
what
to
I'm
them.
saying. Back to what I'm
And
saying.
we love the women.
Yeah.
exactly.
Except for Max.
We love all the women.
Y'all got that.
Max doesn't love women.
No,
Max
I
got
doesn't
that.
love naked
I
women.
like
Max doesn't
women.
love short skirt women.
Hold on.
Max doesn't love women that show their
Oh,
tits.
man.
This was on a rant of the day, dog. Hold on. Leave that
Rant
to
of the
me,
day.
bro. Listen, I like women that are fully clothed. Now let's continue on.
Don't FaceTime me in the shower.
Yeah. None of that bullshit, dog. If you invite me to your
You gotta
house,
watch the previous
Listen.
episodes and you
He
understand.
said, "Come ready."
bruh, if you invite me to your house, to the women, and you tell me we're gonna watch This Is It, the deluxe version of the Michael Jackson documentary, and your fucking shirt is off, bitch, I'm not here for that
He
reason,
does
bro.
not
Put
want
your
some Netflix
shit
and chill.
on, dog. After the Netflix, then we can start talking. But listen, so
Wait,
politically,
let me add to what let me
Go for it.
specifically what you're saying, right?
about the deluxe version of This Is It, the Michael Jackson documentary.
Yes, I don't know if you've seen.
But
They now have a Diddy and a R. Kelly documentary.
Oh,
on
that's
it.
that's gonna take up a whole.
No,
He went there.
But bro, Michael Jackson didn't do it, dog. But this is another conversation for another time. Hold on.
Seriously. So
Zoom in, Mo.
what I wanted to say was this right here is I feel like when you talk about the emotions,
Can I just break down what I was saying fully, real quick? Because I
I
was
just
on
want
a
to add
thing,
to
bro.
it real fast. I know
He
I'm gonna
wants
let
to
you go.
backpedal real quick.
I'm not gonna
Keep all
stop
this.
you. You're still gonna
You're
go.
stopping me right now as we speak, but you go ahead.
All right,
dog.
thank you. You know what? I appreciate
That's
that.
love, dog.
That
That's
is love.
Like Diddy, dog.
No, it's a different type of love.
You know what? Don't get over it.
I'm out that shit, dog.
That's a different one.
Oh, man.
All I was gonna say was that you and I, we had a discussion.
Beautiful discussion.
off,
Which would have been a great discussion on camera, but me and this guy always have the craziest discussions on IG. It's not even over text or the phone. It's always like someone sends someone some shit, and we're just like,
Hey,
it
What
just
you
blows
doing?
up from that point. Nah,
Yes,
it was about the Trump thing and everything. But I think what's most important is this right here. When you talk about like not moving off of emotion and moving off of like logic, logistics, and things like that.
statistics.
It's statistics, and we're talking about a country that we all are living in. I think it's more important to realize like what is important, right? I seen a meme where it's like some dude with like this plate in front of him, and he has all of these cookies, and then there's like a dark skinned person on his left, and there's like a light skinned person on his right, and they got one cookie, and he's telling him like, "Hey, bro, he's trying to take your cookies." While he's sitting here with this plate piled up with cookies in front of him,
sounds like Judas.
telling him that the problem is this dark guy over here.
That's Judas.
And so, like, this country is like, in my opinion, I feel like we are always focused on the wrong people because when we say things, it sounds good, right? It sounds good, send the criminals away. Okay, but only send the criminals away who are supposed to be immigrants, or are we sending all the criminals away? Are we going to hold everybody accountable? Because right now,
There's just sending
this is not even,
away.
right now, hold on, real fast. How many crooks do we got in Congress? How many crooks do we got in the White House right now?
Bruh.
On both sides, Republican and Democratic.
Yeah.
And in the middle.
Bro, one of my best friends is a politician. I know what the fuck is going on. I'm talking about a real
You
politician.
feel me?
From Compton. I could show you pictures with him, Obama, any president with, among our age range and shit, but and all that, they get dirty.
Yeah.
No,
That shit not sweet.
Bro,
That's why I do
politics is
not
a
like.
dirty
I
game.
don't fuck
shit-
with politicians.
No.
You
Listen,
feel me?
I fuck with
You
politics.
got good people, but
I don't fuck with I don't fuck with all politicians. Let me put it that way.
I
There's
think we
some
just
that I
need to
fuck
become
with.
a fucking absolute monarchy and govern ourselves.
Which is still
But-
politics.
but-
Look,
look, before you go on,
let's be the Wild Wild West. That's it.
you gotta understand though that our country isn't a country. This shit is ran off business.
It's
a corporation.
I
It's
mean,
a
look
business,
how
bro.
look how this shit was formed. It's off of bloodshed and money. Niggas killed
Pharmaceuticals.
and did all type of shit to get this.
That's true.
You feel me? It's not built off of morals of hey, you should do this and you're going to live
democracy,
well.
yeah.
Fuck no.
Bro, you
That's
grew up.
out.
You grew up in Compton. You know, my family and like we're from the projects. Who are the real gangsters? The real gangsters are the fucking politicians and the government.
100%. I've been saying that shit. Real quick before I get back to what I was saying, before Javon rudely cut me off, bro. I'm just kidding.
You're welcome.
I'm not kidding.
No, thank you.
No, so I've always said this. I said, who's the gangster? The homeboy who runs a street or the homeboy who runs a fucking
Trump's
state?
a gangster, dog.
Hold on. So who's the gangster? The one who goes and commits a crime and then goes to jail and is away from his family for 10 years? Or is the gangster the one putting your ass in jail, taking away all your freedoms? So
Yeah.
That's what I think a gangster is, dog. And none of this.
Not think it is.
It is. It's
yeah.
not. Bro, if you know what gangsters, you know what a
But
gangster
I will say
is.
this. I do want to say, I do agree with Trump in something. Calling up women's sports.
Oh, yeah.
Come
Fuck
on.
all that.
You know Biden's ass wasn't gonna do that
Fuck
shit.
yeah, bro.
Hey.
You know what, Trump? Shout out to you for that, dog, because
Biden would have been smelling all the kids' hairs, dog.
bro, I could not agree with that. How could you let a fucking man into women's sports? It's not fair.
Because now they're female.
Look,
It's
bullshit.
not fair.
this not on that, but I'm going to tell you about the gangster shit, the real gangster shit when it comes to overseeing. One of my bros, unfortunately, I have many friends that done time in all races, but one of my closest bros, he like, this some shit that fucked me up, He told me some deep shit, like, follow me. He like, one of the CLs was showing them some shit, right? House, boat. He like, hey, check this out. He like, I got this off of y'all, right? I said, oh, that's
Like
deep.
that,
That's some deep, scary shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, you know what? I need to continue to do what I'm doing because it's facts. What can you say to that type of shit? As a man, somebody tell you this, I'm employed by these motherfuckers up above, He like, yeah, basically without y'all, I wouldn't be here. I'm getting money. I get to go home to my family, kiss my babies.
But you know what's crazy about that,
But
though?
I'm making you into a business.
I think that...
Real quick, let me finish this politics
Go ahead,
shit, dog.
bro.
I've
Go ahead,
been
go
doing
ahead.
this
My bad.
shit, and I'm finna finish this.
I'm not
right
going to
now,
forget.
dog.
Go ahead.
Politically, when you look at every situation, bro, regardless if it's a street situation, if it's a political situation, that's why here's the problem that I think that's going on with these protests. People are fighting in between these protests, bro. In my opinion, because look, and I'm going to bring an example from my own people. When we had the war going on in Azerbaijan, the Armenians were doing all these protests, peaceful protests. But once I was against it is when they closed down the freeway, and which the compas recently did that shit too.
Yeah.
Here's what I think about that. I understand you're trying to cause attention to a situation. And I'm even bringing up, my people have done this in the past. I'm bringing up that same example. The reason I'm against it is by you trying to bring up attention. But what if someone else's mom is in that freeway having a heart attack and they're trying to get her to the fucking hospital,
They're trying to
dog?
get a baby over there.
Exactly. A baby's about to be born and now the mom's life's at risk. I get maybe someone that you has been, but they already got through that risk. They already been through that. What people need to do is talk to their local elected officials. That's the smartest thing you can do, or just peacefully protest. Now back to the whole political.
I'm next. Go ahead.
Back to the political way of looking at shit. All men, I feel like in general, should look at shit at the basis of what it is, not by your emotions, not by the ethics. Because I've talked to people and they start freaking out. They shouldn't be doing the immigration. Hold on, dog. Come on.
For real.
I don't know where your brain's at, dog, but you got to look at it the way it should be looked at. Obviously, I don't fuck with it too. I got family that's right now, currently as we speak, in immigration detention, homie, in Louisiana. So it's like,
there you go.
but I'm not looking at it from all that feelings. I'm looking at it from a point of
moral.
It's political. Because when you got people like Biden who's fucking shit up, and then you had someone like, because when you look at it too, bro, Trump said he was gonna send all these people out 2016. He fucking didn't, dog. He really didn't. When you look at what Biden did and what Trump did, it's like very similar to their deportation. And all Biden did was just open it. But Biden was sending people out too. It's not like he wasn't fucking sending people out. So I just want people to understand that there's so much more to politics than they understand. And if you're going to look at any issue, look at it from that base of what it is, not only from your emotions. So that's what I wanted to say.
Let me say this, right? So being black and us having our issues that we have with like law enforcement, right? Here goes Officer Ricky right here. And here goes Officer Santana. Mm-hmm. All right, so Officer Ricky, when he's holding the handcuffs, when he's holding the gun and everything like that, I got a problem with him. right? When he's doing me wrong, doing me an injustice. Now we got Santana. Now Santana is the one who's in front of me and he's doing me wrong. When I call him out for the things that he's doing wrong, I'm not giving Ricky a pass. I'm mad at both of these cats for the injustice and the abuse of authority, abuse of power. I feel like in today's, and this is what this is where they wanted it. They want, if I'm gonna call out Trump for something, that you assume that I wouldn't also be mad at Biden for the same thing. I'm mad at Biden for the same thing. It's not exclusive.
Because your intellect is at another level, but that's what they do want you to be or expect of you to be.
But what I'm saying is that we're talking about a government here, right? So it's just, to me, this is just another cat who's in the same uniform with the same type of authority in the same pool. He's a president, just like the last cat was a president. The last cat was doing wrong. Now this cat's in position, he's doing wrong. We don't get to give this dude a pass because the last dude was doing wrong. They both are not getting any passes, right? And so for me, I personally feel like you asked him like who's affected and things like that, which I'm sorry to hear about, I have a lot of empathy for anybody in your family who, may be infected.
Right.
Me, my children are half Mexican. I grew up around Mexican people. My wife is Mexican. And so therefore now half...
Javon's literally my compa.
Right. And
Compacito.
And then on top of that too, my mom is like Creole, and that comes with a whole type of Latin family on our side too, from Louisiana and everything like that. But from what I can see is there's so many people who are crucial to my life who like maybe their status is not all the way like correct or whatever the case is. They could be at risk of being deported. Even with him trying to get rid of the natural rights, birthright, the birthright thing, which I think is
That's
crazy,
ridiculous.
right? That's crazy, right?
That is ridiculous.
Again,
but
look at it politically. Look at what the past has, what they've done. Look at the millions of people they brought in.
But hold on.
Gotta look at it politically.
So what I'm saying is this right here. I feel like they always try and tell us something bogus like that. At the end of the day, who has the power? Who could shut things down? Who could start stuff up? Is it the immigrants? Is it you white Americans who feel like you are America and you're not even American because you're not native?
First of all, look at the unemployment rate.
Who is it?
I'm gonna
Who's
just
at
say
the top
that.
of that, right?
There you go. That's
I'm gonna say that. Yeah, you see Hollywood Hills, all these.
Maybe you're just a
Look at
lazy
the fucking
motherfucker. You're not
unemployment
getting...
rate. And, shout out to I'm not going to say my peoples, our peoples, because we all have associates and colleagues, friends, family, whatever. That's,
Yeah.
Caucasian, and etc. But
it's not even, bro, it's not even, so here's the thing. Because it's going to be the next thing that I'm going to try and squeeze into this episode if we got enough time.
Yeah.
I don't like to generalize on certain things, right? So I'm not going to, this has nothing to do with white people. This has to do with the powers that be, period. And they love pitting us against one another. They will bring race into it and get blacks to go against Mexicans and all that stuff like that.
That's what they do.
But it's not, my beef is never with Mexican people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They've done that from the get-go. Look at Boys in the Hood.
Boy,
what did the dad say? They want us to kill ourselves, gentlemen. They want...
Literally.
Why is there a liquor store in any corner in the hood? Why is there a gun shop on any corner in the hood? Because that's what they fucking do as a government.
Exactly.
They want us to kill our own.
Yeah.
It's like that one Ice Cube song.
But when you say our own, the thing that's crazy about it is our own, your own is not the Hispanic community. My own is not the black community. We are all here in the same situation.
Collective.
We don't recognize that.
But it's crazy because there are a few that recognize it. Like, I recognize it. You recognize it. You recognize it. Like, I recognize, like, my fucking brothers. I recognize, like, I love my brothers. Like, I love my black people. I love my brown people.
Yeah.
We need to come together, but they keep trying to separate us because we are the strongest motherfuckers. We are the strongest individuals. We are the strongest race.
Can I say this? And I think we spoke on this, but I'm going to say it on here. I don't fuck with people who are like quarters, right? I know you like, what the fuck you mean, quarter? Anybody who can change for $1, get away from me. I don't give a fuck what walk of life you come from. Yep. Because that let me know your morals, your trajectory, etc. Stay the fuck away from me. You
100%.
dangerous.
100%.
You know?
But I want to comment on what you're saying about the strongest race. There is no strongest race.
Nah.
There's one race, and that's the human race. White, black, Asian, Chinese. If I stab you and you're Mexican, and then I go and stab Javon, you're both bleeding red. Homie comes in, stabs me, or I stab him, we're all gonna bleed red. There's no stronger or strongest race. There is one human race that we're all a part of, and thank God that we're a part of that. But there are strong individuals of races.
Let me ask you a question about that then. Let me I know. Let me ask you a question though, and it's because something that I'm very a movement I'm very empathetic towards, and then with what you just said, I want to ask you a question, right? So I agree with you. There is no like strongest race or anything like that, right? How do you feel about people who look at other people like no, you guys are not worthy because my race is the stronger, the better race?
And there's some uneducated bitch ass fools. That's all there is to it.
And you also understand, right?
And I also understand that every race has that.
Of course. And it also, and that's what I was going to say. It doesn't.
But they're the uneducated.
It doesn't represent the race.
It does not
it doesn't represent the race.
Specific group of people.
Because it's even there's even black people who are like this. I hear it all the time. The one thing that I never been for is I don't like when I hear other black people say like yo, we're the smartest, we're the master race and everything, because it's like, look, first of all, I love black people.
Like the black
and we are definitely up there. We definitely, for sure. Egypt is ours. I don't care what nobody talking about. I did my research.
Do your research.
But what I'm saying is that doesn't qualify anybody for being better or less than another person, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you believe in God.
The movement, exactly. The movement that I'm talking about, because I do want to squeeze this in, because I feel like I want to do this. This is my calling, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Everything that's happening right now politically, like in Palestine, with Israel, Gaza, that whole situation and everything like that, as a black person who our people have gone through so much oppression, and it's funny, I was talking to my wife about this last night. I was like, I love when people try and compare their oppression to our oppression. But like, I know everybody's been through something, but the level of disrespect and disregard, that we have gone through like generationally is like crazy, right? So the point that I'm making is that I can't never be on the side of the oppressor.
There shouldn't even be a comparison, bro.
I always am on the side of those who are oppressed, and I can feel it. And so for me, trying to tie this in to the whole Trump thing and the politics and everything like that, currently right now, our country is trying so hard to back Zionists. I'm not even going to say Jewish people or Israeli people, because I know some Jewish people who I got love for. I know some Israeli people, all that. We're talking about Zionists specifically, right?
Man,
you know?
You going deep.
Yeah. That's all I
get to it.
You feel me? So like specifically, I feel like our politics right now, this is the United States of Israel right now. This ain't even the United States of America right now.
Yep.
Everything that's going on is in benefit of a foreign country. So for me, when I look at somebody like Trump and everything that he's doing, it's very wild to me that you're going to look at Hispanic people and say, we need to get their worst out of here. But in the meantime, let's look to another country and be like, yo, we need to send you all of our money over there. Which is it? Is the money staying here, or are we sending the money somewhere else?
Can I say this? Because you got a great topic. I ain't trying to, but do you guys understand what our currency rate is right now, right? It's about to be shit, because you have to look at certain continents, countries merging together. This American dollar, I'm pretty sure you guys been out of country or plan to go out of country if you haven't.
Times, yeah.
This shit is a shit show for real. Like, these other countries is laughing at us. I don't give a fuck. You probably look at, let's say, Africa or this, bro, our dollar is going down and down, but it's because of, like, they basically looking at us as a circus. Like, they watching it.
For sure. And what you're saying about United States of Israel, bro, I don't think that's the case. Because we know that there's the American government, but let's be completely honest. None of us are blind. There is some entity and there is some being on top of the American government that at the end of the day puppeteers all these politics.
Mm-hmm.
And you think it's the American government. So when you're saying, oh, Trump is doing this and that for Israel or whatever, first of all, America does what they do for Israel because of the influence they have with all of the Middle East through Israel. There's a reason why they keep helping them, even though they disagree with 90% of, or 80 or 70, whatever the fuck it may be. They have so much influence going out through Israel that they need to keep their presence as America. So it's not United States of Israel, it's United States of America doing what they do best. And remember we were talking about how America has terrorists or stuff that they do sometimes that other people might not understand. But for those who do see through the bullshit, know that that's a terrorist thing to do. Like if you're sending CIA to another country, you're not directly attacking the country, but indirectly you're sending people to go start a riot and cause a revolution in that country.
Direct. It is direct, but yeah, go ahead.
But it's not as direct as sending missiles.
It's deceitful.
You feel me? It's deceitful, so it comes out as indirect.
Can I speak on that? Like, because me being in aviation, it's some shit that I won't say. Just, we can talk off camera. Like, it's a lot of wicked shit going on. Like, and there are certain things that I can't see. Yeah.
What shit?
Like,
I didn't hear what you said.
He does aviation.
So I heard it, but he said something
wicked,
shit. I didn't.
Some wicked,
wicked
sure,
shit. Meaning like the certain tactics or things just to prepare for type shit of what's going on with like the military and all that shit. And it's certain shit that, bro, man, I try to tell my peoples, because I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Things are all premeditated, bro. This shit is talked about with stuff that's way bigger than us, because what runs this shit is not how we feel. It's about this. Like our resources, like China, such and such, they hold that in a certain light, and
they trying to take over Africa.
Bro, resources are important. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? And so I guess just for clarification, because then we can go. We only have so much more time, so we need to end this episode.
I can go for hours.
But what I want to say is this, though. What I want to say is this: is that we will continue the conversation so that we can further educate you guys and give you a different perspective on these topics that we're talking about. I do believe that on camera, me and Max and Moses and if Thadd is here or whatever guest, we will come full circle with this, because it's all love in here, it's all respect, and it's all understanding.
Of course.
I just think that, again, the puppeteering thing that you're speaking of, that's actually exactly what I was saying. I don't like
some things just have to be done.
I don't
bro.
stop it there. No,
like
I don't stop it there.
It's not up to Trump when that fool in a cloak pulls up real quick with a little candle at 3 a.m. in the White House, and Trump's like, "Fuck, he's here."
No, but also understand this: being from the same Christian background that I'm from and everything like that, we understand, biblically speaking, that there comes a point where death is the only choice when it comes to righteousness. You cannot choose to be like, "Oh, I didn't have a choice, so I did this." When it comes to, like, when you got to stand before God and God is going to judge you, God is not going to accept you telling him, "Oh, I bombed these people because this dude who was above me and he said it." Yeah. You got to stand on business at some point.
Y'all's going to have a problem with that. I don't think Trump is.
But hold on. This is very important. I don't give a fuck if you're an atheist or you believe in God. You as a Christian man, you understand that the Bible shedded a lot. Basically, it was a lot of bloodshed in that fucking Bible.
It's a book of war.
Exactly. You can't peace with just, okay, let's talk. No, that don't work like that.
It's a book of war.
To be continued type shit.
Hip hop is black culture. And so when you allow people to come into this realm or whatever, and they're not doing something that's beneficial to us as a people, I can't, you know what I mean? I can't rock with that at all. And it's not even to say that we don't got all this murderous music and everything, but you still got a person who's genuine and they're just reporting, right? Versus somebody who's coming in, they not reporting, they like pushing.
Think about, just let alone our conversation that we, amongst us sane individuals, we shouldn't even have to explain this. It should be a norm.
100%.
That's the sad part.
It'll never be a norm, because at the end of the day, like, the thing that I see all the time that's repetitive, they say everybody want to be us, but they don't want to be us. And that's the reality of it, is that the world loves black culture. They love the highlights, but they don't understand that these highlights only come from struggle.
That's what I really wanted to talk about with him when I was telling him how, we was basically going over, you know, how the Latin culture, a certain Latin culture, because the real ones don't do this shit.
It's the OGs that don't.
How they really gangbang and they say nigga, but how you saying nigga, but you saying fuck niggas? That doesn't make sense. My real SA partners, that's real. I'm talking about.
We don't even say it, dog. We don't even say it,
bro. They don't say that, and they respect. You feel me? 100%. So I'm looking at it like, I didn't grow up like this, bro. I'm still young. I'm about to be 32.
Yeah.
When the fuck did this come into play? Like, I don't know nothing.
I don't respect none of those motherfuckers.
You feel me? Because my real partners don't do that.
I mean, it's different. Like, maybe if, like,
the youngins,
you are literally from a black hood.
Exactly.
That I get.
And they consider themselves black.
Yeah. And even if they didn't consider themselves black, they still grew up underneath that that
environment.
That environment. These are their people and everything. So that's like, bro, I got a white homie out to Dina Block Crib, and when people see him, they always think that he's not really that. And if he goes to jail, he's fighting. And he's winning
with the bullshit,
right? But it's like he grew up there, and those are his people. He don't think he's black. He knows what he is, but it's like, what are you gonna do? Yeah. It's almost like if you grew up in one street, what are you gonna do?
If you hang with him, look, if you fuck with him, you dug with him. That's the term.
Exactly.
That's what it is. And it has to go with like, so, I mean, we started already, all right? We're bringing it back. But it has to go with this, like, where my family's from, right? With the projects, I'm not gonna mention the exact projects names and everything. My auntie, she'll probably name it below the comments because she's a G.
We ain't heard from you in a minute. We miss you. Much love.
Yeah, she'll mention it below. But it's like, I was never part of the gang, but that's where my family's from. So I'm affiliated very, very deeply.
Yeah.
Right? They're powerhouse. They're very well known. I've been in certain situations where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to let you know what it is. And that's what it is. So for you, it's kind of the same thing, right? Where it's like, you're not from it, but you're affiliated. And sometimes people, you got to let it know.
Well,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Real quick. I want to just talk about what you brought up about like the cultures saying N-word and shit. It's not only in the Mexicans either.
Right, for sure.
It's everywhere now. And I think the reason that it is because of music. And that shit looks cool.
Absolute. Thank you.
Hey, it's music and it's
Good
movies.
Point.
It's because people, everyone listens to Kendrick. Everyone listens to rap. And what's being said is that word. It's the N-word, bro.
Right.
But,
so on top of that, I ran into a couple of essays. I'm not going to name the hood, obviously, but I was smoking a cigarette and homeboys were just posted out there and I was just like, what's cracking? You know, like we were just talking.
Exactly.
Because I chopping it up with them and they're youngins. And these fools, yeah, fool, N-word this. Yeah, fool, N-word that. I'm like, hey, fool, I'm like, you say the N-word a lot, dog. I'm like, these are big. I'm like, your family's from the hood too? Yeah, dog. I'm like, does your tío say that, dog? That's from the hood?
Exactly.
And he's like, no, dog, my tío doesn't say it, but you know, we're younger, we're different, this and that. I'm like, nah, fool, if you're claiming you're a Sureño, and you don't be claiming
hold on. When they go into that system, you picking a side. This is...
I know, that's why
they gonna look at you like, all right, bro, you from... Okay, like you can look any color, have any skin color, but who you hanging with? What side you gonna pick? They not them real. I know real ones from you know all walks of life, but we talking about the Latin culture. Man, them real essays, they gonna look at you like, what?
But my family don't fuck around. Bro. My family does not fuck around with these younger wannabes and shit that are saying that. You guys are fucking lames. Like, why you even saying? You shouldn't be saying that word. Yeah. It's not right. But you think you're a gangster and you're not. Like the way we grew up, the way we were like, what's up, what's up, esse? What's up, fool?
That's what
what's up? Exactly.
Yeah, that's the way we talk.
What's
like,
up, dog?
What's up, fool? What's up, dog? Where you from, esse? You know, like that's the way we would talk. And now you're over here trying to talk a language
you know what I think it comes down to is this right here, is that there was a lot. And I'm not justifying it, but I'm just trying to put some type of sense on this, right? There was such a separation, like in the early 90s, from Black and Hispanic culture. That's kind of merged over now, where it's like now there's even more connection between the two cultures and acceptance, right? Where it's like rather than a lot of Hispanic people thinking like we got to just have our own thing, they merged over. But it's also the same thing for Black people too. Where we have taken over a lot of Hispanic culture, right? Like Hispanic culture has influenced us heavily. which I do love.
Like the way the dress. You dress.
We one and the same,
like
bro.
Yeah, we're the same.
That's the whole point of this. It's bullshit.
yeah.
It's bullshit.
Exactly.
Fuck all
the
however you break it down.
That's why I personally don't get upset when I hear somebody who's not black saying nigga. Like, it doesn't bother me.
No, it bothers me, bro.
But I'm just saying, like, I get you. I hear you. But I'm saying,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like it just don't bother me if I can feel that like there's love.
If you come from our culture.
Yeah. Even if it's ignorance though, right? Because I'm wise enough to spot ignorance and to look at somebody and be like, that's where you are right now in your life. And that's that. Like, I'm not gonna look at a little kid and be happy that a little kid is tearing up my living room and everything. But I know that that's where that little kid is at in his life.
You're right, coming from a sane man, but this phone, this shit, so many people that died off this bitch.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
People think it's a game.
Man,
it's not no fucking game.
Whatever is put out on here, you're coming from a sane man perspective, and you're coming from angling somebody who's ignorant, which meaning they not knowing. They just going about how they doing type shit. But whatever the world see, because I say this to say that what is going on is a trend. So who don't want to hop on a trend? Right. If you're not a natural leader, you feel me?
The whole world is influenced right now. Let's not even say black culture by hip hop, even though I just said I believe hip hop culture is black culture, but the whole world, everything on this planet is influenced by hip-hop culture now.
Yes, sir.
Every genre of music is influenced by hip-hop culture.
Absolutely.
They've even taken elements of hip-hop and put it into, like, whether it be drum patterns or whatever it is, sampling, whatever, right? But the whole point is they love it, but they don't understand how this was formulated, how it was created. It's like seeing a nigga who's a bodybuilder and not understanding that this nigga had to put in tremendous hours in the gym to become swole like this. They think it's just going to be something that you could just hop on top of and doing. It's a lot of, you know why black people are so funny a lot of the times, why we're so entertaining? Because it was death as was the alternative.
You absolutely right. That's the cold shit.
It's the same shit.
That was like literally
it's the same shit with like Mexicans. You feel me? It's like, bro, the reason we talk so much shit to each other and we will not get mad about it.
Yeah.
And I mention this all the time on this podcast. Like, when me and Max first met, right? It's like, I can meet you for the first time. I'm going to talk so much shit to you because that's the way Mexicans are, bro. Because if I talk shit to you, you're my fucking brother.
Yeah.
I fuck with you.
Yeah.
If I don't talk shit to you, watch out.
But look, check this out. To circle around that, bring it back. This conversation is so powerful because you have different ethnicities. You have blacks, Armenian, Latin.
That's what Boss Talk is all about.
Look at that. You feel me?
What is Boss Talk about, Javon? It's about
unity. You just said it, yeah.
It's about sharing each other's cultures and letting the audience know different opinions,
perspectives.
Exactly. Because he has his own story, he has his own story, he has his own story, and I have my own story.
And here we are still coming together as one.
And 100%. We in unison. Look, everybody in black.
Hell yeah.
That's what
we bleed the same. My blood come out like his blood.
I just want to say, unless anybody else has anything else to add too, that I love to bring on guests, and I think we've talked about the fact that first of all, this podcast can run without guests because you're a great individual. You're a great individual. I think I am.
You're
too.
a great individual.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Not just saying that for these cameras. Fuck them. I mean, not them, but
and bro, appreciate you. You happen to be here.
Thank you for coming on, Thadd. For real, bro. You're my boy, dog.
All love.
But the point that I'm getting at is that he could bring on one Armenian guest, and then he could bring on another and have a completely different perspective. Mm-hmm. You could bring on one Hispanic guest. And on top of that too, I could bring on an Armenian guest. You could bring on a black guest or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And we just got to keep doing this so that people can see that there is never one thought or one opinion coming from any group of people.
Exactly.
And really hear it and really start to process and think on this because, it's great to have a podcast and everything like that. But when I do, just like you spoke about when we began, when I got to die and you got to look at, like, did you fulfill your purpose or whatnot? I would love for them to look back and be like, like, yo, Javon was a part of something that really changed the world, that really put some perspective out there. Yeah.
Exactly.
And I do believe that this is it. I'm not trying to be like these other lame podcasters who are just trying to get on dumb females.
For fucking clown. Talking all this nonsense or talking gang shit. It's like, it's none of that.
Not even that. Real humans. This shit, like whether, look, you venture off to make this a career, get paid, or none of that. This is who I am. This is who we are. Mm-hmm. You feel me? And that's what's great about these gentlemen, you know. And just, how about this? The way that we're able to communicate, we can disagree to agree, or, you know, vice versa. Mm-hmm. But we all come to a mutual understanding. That's the most powerful shit. I understand your perspective. I understand your perspective. I understand your perspective. And guess what? It's no violence.
Exactly.
That's literally the point of this show, dog.
Yeah, that's where we're getting.
That's what I always try to say to the cameras too about like politics, bro. People shouldn't let, oh, I'm Trump, I'm Kamala, and they're like, oh, this was Trump, oh, this was Kamala. Everyone's fucking polarized. Like, that's so stupid, bro. The whole point is because I know there's a lot of shit that, the stuff that me and Javon disagree on, any other dumbass on the street that would disagree with another dumbass on the street, they'd fight.
It'd be over.
You feel me? They would be on some stupid, naive shit. But it's like, we're trying to teach the people, understand that we're all should be unified in unison, not talking about no stupid fucking this bullshit, that bullshit. Hold each other's hands, no Diddy, dog.
Hey, look, and I'm gonna say this. If you met me outside of this or randomly, look, I'm not much of a talker. I'm only talking, like, basically, I only talk when I feel it's useful. Like, basically, my stance is, if you don't have nothing to say, then shut the fuck up. Meaning, if you ain't gonna put out some great energy, influence, and knowledge, then you should shut the fuck up. 100%. Because all you doing is just talking just to talk. Everybody got lips in this bitch. You know, so it may not seem like much to us right now, but you have to understand that everybody doesn't think the way that we think, or even at that level to thinking the way that we think, meaning practicing it.
Right.
Like, okay, I know this ain't right, but I'm doing it because it's the norm. But by us pushing that narrative of, okay, let's think from a general perspective, that shit can go a long way. And I see it. I'm around these motherfuckers from all walks of life. That's why I'm going to say this on camera. I didn't judge this individual man, per se, that I just met today off his ethnicity. Yes, as a human, I thought, but I didn't elaborate. I was like, oh, you know, as we talking, hey, bro, are you, you know, this race? Nah. Because that would have made me look a fool, and then he pop out the question, nah, I'm this. Feel me? So sometimes you got to shut the fuck up in so many words.
100%, bro.
I think that as we come to a close, what it comes down to, something that I do want to say to y'all is that Boss Talk is full of different cultures, different perspectives. We will not share your perspective on certain things, but we love to hear from you. So if you guys would love to come on this platform and share your thoughts and opinions about anything, we love to talk about it all, you know, just to share our communities and whatnot. Shoot us a message, leave a comment, whatever it is. But in the meantime, we want to thank you again, bro, for coming on.
Thank you, bro.
I do want to say...
Moses has one more thing to say.
I do want to bring up this movie because
oh, my bad, bro.
We're artistic people up in here.
Yeah, man.
I'm a movie script writer, director, producer. So is Javon. Dad, you're an artistic person. Max, you're an artistic person. So the movie for today that I want to discuss real quick is Menace to Society.
Okay.
So Menace to Society, growing up in the hood. What do you guys think about that movie? Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
You seen it?
Of course.
Javon, you seen it?
Of course.
Dad,
multiple times.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
what's one of your favorite scenes in the movie?
Who we going with?
First of all, like that's kind of difficult, right? Because every time I see it, because I've seen it so long.
It's such a great movie.
But
bro.
I think the most iconic scene would be, you know, first of all, hold on one second. I forgot. He said Menace to Society. I always think about
Don't Be a Menace. The parody.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the real life.
But it's funny because it's like the parody is real too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. That should have double entendre.
The Wayans brothers could not have made that parody without understanding the reality of it.
Exactly.
You know what? I'm happy for it. The Wayans are coming out with another scary movie. Finally.
I didn't know that.
And it's theirs.
I didn't know that.
It's theirs again.
Favorite scene in Menace to Society.
Yeah, favorite scene.
I'll put it to you like this. It's not a scene. It is a favorite thing about Menace to Society that shaped my favorite in a category, which is vehicle. My
5.0?
favorite vehicle was a 5.0
5.0
because of Menace to Society.
He's a killer. He knows something. Nah, this is a God-fearing man. I'm just playing.
That's it, bro. We love Jesus.
Hey, yes, sir.
We love God.
Yes, sir. But he knows something. Don't sleep.
I'm gonna quote a different movie. You know what I'm saying? I got the gold BBSs right here.
Oh my God.
Where's that from?
Paid in full?
Hell yeah.
Come on now. Dope boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
what's one of your favorite scenes, Vidog?
I mean, well, you know, that movie hit different for me because, you know, that's a part of my family, a deep part of my family. And some of those characters are being portrayed as my family and certain things that's, you know, before my time, but still family. And these are just things that I was told off of certain characters like Old Dog. Like, I have cousins that's really like Old Dog. And every, you know, walk of life has that. Yeah. But me per se, it's like, damn, this is something I looked up to, but I didn't learn until I was older. Like, yeah, you know, such and such really on that type shit. But the main quote that I took from that is when Kane, granddaddy, asked him, like, blatantly, do you care if you live or die? And he stopped and he had to think. I don't know if y'all remember that.
He goes, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. That's a cold, like,
bro. That
why
scene
the fuck
is so powerful.
Look, us being living right now. If you have to question whether you want to live or die, that's on.
I want to live.
Yeah, you feel me? But that's the terrain that we, you know, come from or know a family that come from, and it's like when you put that in context, it's like, damn, like. Only people who should really be thinking about that is people who are literally in war overseas.
Right.
They have to wake up knowing that somebody probably have to call my wife or my family like, hey, he didn't make it type shit.
Right.
But as civilians with no helmets type shit, for you to have to walk out that door like every day, you know, I'm moving militant, but respectfully, I'm not out here trying to be no over the top type dude. I'm chill, I'm respectable. Right. You know, I can hold a conversation and etc. But it's like some people, that's really all they know. They don't know that other side on how to turn that button off and on. If I'm in a room with you know, outside of all this shit. So
yeah.
Whew.
I would say that's definitely one of the most powerful scenes in that movie for sure. It's just like, damn, do I care if I live or die? Like, what am I doing in my life right now? I'll probably die in a couple years. Because if you grow up in that lifestyle, you don't think you're gonna live past 21. You just don't.
Yeah.
But another
Hold on. What's your
trajectory?
Well, I was getting at my favorite. My favorite.
Oh, I thought that was it. My bad.
That was just I was backing it up like that's a powerful scene.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you ended it too.
No, that was a powerful one. But one of my other favorites is when, just because it's just so funny, dog. Like Kane and they're all right there in the apartment, right? At
project.
Right there in the projects. And then this who has a random guy come up to him. Hey, homie, you came? And he goes, yeah? Why? Who's asking? Hey, partner.
I don't like how you
fucked my cousin and this and that. He goes, hey, homie, I don't think you know me. And he goes, boom, cracks him. Because it's so real, dog. It's like,
that's
man,
me.
If that's, you know, like somebody asks for your name and you don't know who, if you grew up that certain way, right?
Exactly.
Somebody comes up to you and they're like, hey, you this and that, like, and I don't know you, yeah, you're getting cracked right away.
Yeah, like, hold
You know,
on.
so that's why that scene is hilarious. And then the other one when they're in the room and what's that fool's name? He tries to like get at his girl.
Oh,
And then he looks
my
at
God.
Dog. He looks at Dog. He goes, hey, oh, you got your piece on you? He goes, you know it. He goes, let me get it real quick.
Yeah.
Boom.
Because you know, on the flip side of that, the nigga was his boy.
Yeah.
And since that's like me trying to get at your wife and I'm your boy.
Yeah, bro.
You think as a real, just human, you think I'm gonna let that slide?
And I love
I'm
those
already
scenes so
knowing,
much
bro.
just because it's so real. Like I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have. You know, like that. It's just so real because
Like,
that's how we think.
I'm
and it goes
stepping
back
on shit just like how he did. Look,
like,
I'm
it's
actually gonna
happening.
pistol whip you.
Yeah.
And had a gun up,
That's
go
what
off
I'm
until you
saying.
think you got shot.
That's what I'm saying. And that's
just me personally.
That's the
Right.
I don't want to
normality.
kill you. I don't want to kill
Yeah.
no
Yeah, I don't wanna
human.
kill- I don't want none
Unless
of
I
that.
have to. You fuck with my family,
I'm
it's
tough,
done.
right?
Because all my homies in that cell, unfortunately.
I ain't a
free
killer,
my
but don't
dogs.
push me.
Yeah,
bro.
Exactly.
It's-
Pac said it best.
If you fuck, yeah, exactly.
Pac said it best.
It's difficult. I'm not gonna go too deep on this. I'm gonna make it like real quick, 20 seconds.
And then we'll get Max's take too.
Yes,
Yeah.
is that
I know Max got some shit. Look at
being
him.
in the some people fold, some people, you know, they grow. And when you go into the streets, it's only gonna be one or the other. You're either gonna realize you ain't cut out for nobody's cut out for this, first of all, but you're either gonna realize that you can't handle it, or you're gonna realize that you can handle it, but you got regrets. Like, damn, I shouldn't be here. Right.
Exactly.
And so that's where I fell, was that I could handle it, but I realized like this is not life.
No.
It's not a way to live.
This is not living. And so all I'm getting at is this right here, is that, but when you cross through that fire, it will change you permanently, right? So like, I am a man of God. That's the number one priority in my life. And there's things about me that I cannot change no matter how close I get to God, because it's my DNA now. The streets are a part of my DNA now. Like, there's a way that I'll take disrespect that I know the regular person won't take disrespect that same way. Some things other people can walk away from that I cannot walk away from. You know, I have limitations. And so with that being said, like when you guys are speaking about that particular scene and everything like that, a nigga might have died. I just pray to God every day, keep me out of these situations.
Exactly.
Because you might, like, I can't, like, I already know it's a higher power. Like, just keep me out of these situations because I can't keep myself. I'll be in jail. I'll be
for sure.
There, you know?
Exactly.
So,
yeah. I hope.
And you willing to because you're not doing it just out of a regular person's emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You doing it like, all right, I'm about to stand on this because something tempted me to have to take protocol of defending myself, my family, whomever.
It's the only protocol. There you go. That's the perfect word. Yeah. It's the only protocol that I know and understand.
I don't look at no man for defending themselves because, again, we're going to revert back to the Bible. It's a lot of bloodshed. Okay. This
over a woman, over like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes. And people look at killing as a bad thing, but you have to understand that you're fighting off evil. God doesn't punish you for fighting off evil. You feel me? I mean,
God literally says to stone certain people in the Bible.
Exactly. So
that's Old Testament, but then Christ said something else.
Hey.
That's this week, bro.
That's a different discussion.
I do want.
That's why we here.
We got time. Hey, we gonna have you back on, bro.
We're gonna have a part 2, dog.
Max, do you have a favorite scene in that movie?
Honestly, the scene that the homie said is probably the best scene in my opinion too, bro. Again, I saw the movie a very long time ago, so I'm just trying to piece shit together. But you know, I remember the Wayne's fucking version when he pulls up all fucking pissed off and shit. Come on, that shit was fucking.
What you say about my mama?
Just because we're here, my favorite scene from Don't Be a Menace was when he had that rocket launcher in the back of that.
He said, what?
Yeah.
But I want to say something before we close off this episode, bro. Like you said, once you cross that fire, bro, you're a new person. So for anybody who's still in that lifestyle, or anyone who's struggling to get out, keep struggling, bro. Do what you gotta do, or sis, and get out of that life. For the people who are in a lie, in a delusion, thinking that what they're doing is right, I'm gonna tell you straight up, you're not doing what's right, brother or sister. To the big homies who got little homies, tell your little homies to go to fucking school. Tell them to fucking read a book.
Yeah.
Send them on the right way. Doesn't matter if they're from Compton, Pasadena, Altadena, or fucking the SGV,
Palisades.
LA, Palisades. It doesn't matter. We need people to stop glorifying this gang shit and start glorifying the word of God and glorifying a righteous way of living, which is like you said before, anybody who fucking can change for $1 for 50 cent stocks, stay the fuck away from me.
Man.
We need to start glorifying morals again, like our grandparents did. They lived off some codes that are slowly, I can see, just going away. And I've always brought this up. Someone will see, oh, dog, that fool's this woman is a straight up certified whore. With like a diploma that she's a whore. But she got money. She's making them bands off fucking OnlyFans. So I'm gonna be cool with her. But that's no way. Either you're a good person and you're like, I don't care if she's a whore. Like Christ, the way that Christ looked at Mary Magdalene and still accepted Mary Magdalene. Or you're someone who's just a dirty piece of shit. And you're just like, oh, even though I'm against the hoism, I'm with the money that she's making. I don't want people to get what I'm saying wrong. I don't care if you're a hoe. I don't care if you're trans or whatever the hell you are in this life. I will accept you for who you are as long as you accept me and you don't try to step anywhere around me. I don't got an issue. I'm going to talk about judgment another time, but there's another great episode of Boss Talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for coming on, Thadd.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you for coming on, my guy. Like,
no problem.
You know, we've been through a lot together and shit.
Sir.
We set our goals.
We've been talking about this shit.
You know what I mean? Look where we're at today. And we're gonna keep going.
And can I say this? 1 sec. I just want to shout out my bros before we close out. You feel me? Dog. Shout out to Meet the Whoops, who was on the Kendrick Pop Out show. I don't know if y'all seen it.
That's right.
Or whatever. Shout out all them. Shout out my bro Picasso, Big Zo, Lil Zo, T-Bone, you know, my uncle Mad, you know, everybody, you know, in the lineage circle, all that. But yeah, man, great boss talk in a literal way. So yeah, man, I appreciate you, gentlemen.
Appreciate you, bro. Can't wait to have you on again. And and bring your peoples on too.
Yes, sir. I will do.
All right, bro. That's Boss Talk.
And that's Boss Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.